Leading is never simple, but these farmers make it look easy. We begin today with some of the best farmer leaders I've gotten the privilege to work with: Ron Heck, Gaesser and Marlyn Jorgenson. We caught up with them at Commodity Classic in San Antonio, Texas. These farmers may take unique approaches to their operations, but they all have one thing in common: tireless devotion to improving the soybean industry. The State of Soy was at Commodity Classic in San Antonio for the American Soybean Association's 100th anniversary celebration. We're continually inspired by these farmer leaders, and you will be too.
We have 24 past presidents here, going back more than 30 years. So we've been talking about the milestones, talking about, we remember when the U.S. government didn't even keep track of soybean exports because they really didn't matter. It's just a long trip down memory lane, and so much fun working with the people here that put it all together.
Some of us went through some pretty tough struggles back in the day, and it's kind of fun to relive all of them and then check up on each other, see how things are going with them and their wives and their families, and lots of change since '89, '90, so kind of fun just to get reacquainted.
Being a partner with so many great leaders that are here today, and that have made a difference not only for our soybean industry but for American agriculture in general. And soybeans have been really a great story for 100 years now.
The presidents have been talking about all the stuff that we did together. Great projects don't happen during a one-year term, so you work with your friends over a period of 10 years or 20 years or 50 years for some of these projects.
Obviously, somebody back in the beginning had a vision, the need for another crop, a soybean crop, started to promote that. If that hadn't started, we in the United States could still be, in the Midwest at least, could still be a monoculture of corn. Their ideas, their initiative way back then are probably key to having the robust soybean economy that we have today. A lot of giants in the industry, and you just go back and you name some of them from Iowa: Merlin Groot, Ted Hooser, Norm Chambers, that got together and said, we need to do some things to continue to promote our product, but at the same time make other people more aware of our product in the government circles. Farmers by nature are pretty self-reliant, but there was no safety net under the soybean price until the '90 Farm Bill. The president right before me was James Lee Adams from Georgia. The president before him was Wayne Bennett from Arkansas. So under Wayne Bennett, we filed a 301 complaint against the European Union for unfair trade practices. Then comes James Lee, and the group decided we ought to move to a national soybean checkoff. And then the third thing that we did was we established soybeans as a program crop.
Hard to believe now, but soybeans were not part of the farm program before the 2002 Farm Bill. I was president in 2003 and 4. But as a legislative chairman, I worked on that before I was president. And then a month after I wasn't president, I was chairman then, Congress passed and President Bush passed the biodiesel tax incentive. So that was the year after I was president. So maybe I didn't do much the year I was president, but we all worked together and got these two important milestones done.
I was president for about 2 months when we finally got the 2014 Farm Bill passed, and it had taken 3.5 years to get that done. I was on the Farm Bill committee, but as a new president, I got to take all the credit for everyone who did all the hard work for 3.5 years. We started out as a pretty small group at the Fouts Farm in Indiana 100 years ago, and that was a really progressive and forward-thinking group of farmers and industry leaders. And I think we still have that today, and we will always advocate for what's best for agriculture and for what's best for the land that we get to farm.
I see soybeans as one of the world's most important sources of protein and a good source of oil. We're going to continue to expand and grow markets. We're going to continue to learn how to grow them better.
I'm really proud to see a movement toward environmentalism, and we have solutions for climate issues, that agriculture isn't so much a problem, but we can solve a lot of the issues: sequestering carbon, cleaning up the water, creating a food for people that is nutritious and helpful. And it's some of those invisible ingredients that we see, biodiesel, asphalt now, plastics, all those kind of things that are naturally friendly and much better than taking some of the oil from the ground and using it. And our checkoff has been a big part of that. ASA, brought about the opportunity to have a national checkoff, and we're really proud how that's evolved in the job they're doing.
We continue to be one of the leaders in soybean production, but just producing it isn't enough. And the state of Iowa has taken a real active leadership role in promoting that product, in researching new uses, advocating for soybeans in Washington, D.C., and indeed around the world. People understand that, they respect it. We hope we continue to be a leader in the soybean industry, and we think it's for the good of all soybean production.
Soybeans wouldn't be the incredible success story without the organization behind them. The success of U.S. agriculture over the last 50 years is because soybeans replaced oats, hay, and government programs. U.S. agriculture is prosperous today because of soybeans, and we're going to keep working on that and make it better.